When you think of the term challenging content, what do you think of? Do you think of bosses designed to test your reflexes, your ability to adapt? Be it perfectly memorizing patterns, frame-perfect dodging, or just getting dunked on for hours straight? When I think of this term myself, the only thing that comes to mind is a goddamn snake! Okay, a bit of context. Final Fantasy XIV has an optional hard mode known as Savage, where the bosses have more HP, more mechanics, and more ways to screw you over. The tier in question is Abyssos, and there are 4 fights. P5, which is kind of easy, P6, which is even easier, and P7, which just puts me to sleep. But, oh shit, here comes the big boy, the Giga Chad, the absolute unit. Hesperos, the guy who almost made me uninstall the game. Like, you go from doing absolutely nothing in P7 to all these different mechanics which require the entire team to do them properly unless you all die. Like, holy game, calm down. To put this more into perspective, think back to getting double teamed by Ornstein and Smough back in Dark Souls 1, or to getting deep dicked by Margit in Elden Ring. The saving grace these fights have is that they are single player games, so if you can't stop getting your ass beat, then get good. But in this game... You're in a team of 8, and if one person messes up, you all die. That's just about it. And so, with that in mind, if I'm being perfectly honest with you, PTS is one of the most unfun, frustrating, and rage-inducing experiences I've had in a good while, and I played Dark Souls 2, a game filled with nothing but bullshit. I mean, who can resist getting wiped because one of your teammates forgot to press their knockback immune, or when that one person decides to mess up every mechanic, every single pull? Yeah, can it be me? Or my absolute favourite, when these people decide to mess up snakes every single time. Party Finder, am I right? Now, some of you are probably thinking, okay Zynga, we get it. It's perfectly clear that you really don't like this fight, but why in particular does this sack of shit bring out so many negative emotions inside of you? And what does it have to do with the title? Well, my uninformed puppy, allow me to enlighten you. But first, a slight correction, I like this fight. I really like this fight. PTS, in my opinion, is one of the best fights the devs have released. I just still like snakes. That's it. Dying to Forford?
Don't care.
Messing up Dog?
Don't care.
Failing to beat in Rage?
Still don't care.
I just can't stand wiping to snakes. But with all that said, this fight has no real problems. Well, apart from all the drama back in week 1, but let's not talk about that, okay? The entire fight is good, and that's without me even mentioning Phase 2. But that's kind of the problem. How can you get to the second part of the fight when the majority of people can't even clear the first few mechanics? Cause if you can't clear snakes, then ain't no way you're clearing the rest of the fight, oh hell no! But hold on a second. I've talked about how much I dislike Snakes Part 1, but I haven't even explained how this horrifying mechanic even works. My bad. The boss casts Gorgomantea, and 2 snakes spawn. They move around the arena either clockwise or anti-clockwise. But this is where it gets complicated. Everyone gets 2 debuffs, a 1 or a 2, and a puddle or a cone. The 1 or 2 indicates which group does what first. 1s do the first set of snakes, 2s do the second. If you have a cone, you have to look at one of the snakes to petrify it. If you have a puddle, you stand on top of the petrified snake to kill it. That's it! But, of course, there's a twist. Whenever the snakes stop moving, they let out a gaze attack, which petrifies you if you don't look away. Which means if you get got, you can't do the mechanic, and so you wipe the entire party. And that is basically Snakes 1. Nothing too complicated, pretty easy to understand, but my god, every single party you get into can't clear this shit, man. But now that I think about it, the only real takeaway is, why Yoshi, why must you torment your people so? Why would you design a mechanic that breaks the heart of man and tortures his soul? Haven't we suffered enough? Wasn't P3S more than enough for shit show, huh? Although there is something I must admit. When you finally clear snakes, there's an unmatched feeling of catharsis. You just cleared one of the hardest mechanics in this fight. All of the other ones in comparison are kind of easy. But just as you celebrate, you realize that there's an overwhelming sense of dread. Something just isn't quite right. Then, at that time, you make a realization. Wait, Snakes Part 1? No, it can't be. Yup, you guessed it. Snakes Part 2, baby. Oh, you thought we were done, did ya? Oh, well, I am, but not this video. Revel as Yoshi P makes you realize how much of a worthless worm you are. If you thought Snakes 1 was complicated, then oh boy, you haven't seen shit yet. Snakes 2 takes things to the extreme, because instead of 2 snakes, why not 4? And let's throw in some extra debuffs because, fuck you, that's why. Now, some smartasses will probably be like, huh, if you really wanted to avoid the pain and suffering of going through snakes, then why didn't you just find a static? And my response to that information is, yeah, I really should have. But that isn't what's important. Finding a static, playing with friends. To hell with that. Even though I'm a casual who spends the majority of their playtime playing dress up, I'm still a gamer at heart, damn it! A gamer who goes hardcore. Oh, I'm talking no summons, no buffs, no girlfriend. So, being hardcore as I am, I did this fight exclusively in Pathfinder, which, yeah, it was a massive mistake, I admit it.